What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Stirfry. It's your boy, Chef T.
I'm with a Spacekid.
And our special guest today is Skye Larae.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
Hey. What's going on?
Glad to have you on the show.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Super excited.
Yeah, I love your logos.
Thanks.
Limit marketing, correct?
Yes, limit marketing.
I love the sky's the limit.
Yeah,
the little,
everything kind of just tied together.
Yeah,
that's always
idea.
been my ad handle since I was like 14. So
no way, okay.
People would see me and they're like, Sky the Limit. Like it was on the back of my high school shirt. Like, you know what I mean? Like that
so
was
that's
my
been
name.
branded for years.
Yeah, like that was already in the works. So I was like, I don't know what to call my business. And I just thought limit. Like you've reached your limit. You don't have to search any further.
Yeah, I mean, I think it works perfectly.
Yeah.
It goes with your name.
Yeah.
It just helps the brand all around.
Yeah. It's cool. Definitely kind of fell in my lap. So I was like, cool. They got the hard part out the way.
Yeah. Which is literally the hardest part.
The hardest part.
It's finding, Isn't it crazy that, like, even being, like, someone that's creative that makes logos and helps branding, sometimes it can be really hard to, like, even find your own stuff. You're like,
yes, that's what I have super difficulty with. I'm like, I need to post more. I need to make videos. Like, I'm super hard on myself. Like, I'm like consulting my clients, like, hey, here's a flyer for you to post, run a special. And then I go to myself, I'm like, I haven't done anything like that. So it is hard, and I have been kind of taking steps to kind of just like, take some time, focus on myself. I just launched Client of the Week. So it's a bi-weekly feature on my page.
Ooh, I like that.
Thank you. Of a brand who has trusted me with multiple items. So people who come to me for their logo, their business card, digital flyers, website, apparel, everything, I kind of just feature them and, like, hey, this is them, follow them, they've been doing it for this long, and, I love my clients. They're like my friends.
Yeah, that's great. Great to have that relationship with them, because then it just helps. I mean, that really helps the collaboration process.
Definitely, it does.
Because it makes everyone's job easier. Like, then they can trust you with everything.
Right, yeah, and you get to know their style as you talk to somebody. The more they send you examples and, I like something clean like this, and I saw this flyer and I like this. It's after a while, it's just easy to pick up on what you want, and then we don't have any revisions, and, it's just a really good, smooth relationship. So I love the clients, for sure.
So you do all types of graphic design work, right?
Yeah, all type of graphic design. I kind of didn't realize it until I was trying to make my website. I'm like, I offer like 25 things, but it just kind of just happened that way. Like I do the real estate marketing. That was my 9 to 5, but I dropped down to part-time because I just couldn't do it with the graphics. Like my business exploded last year, and out of nowhere, and I don't know why, but I'm super grateful. So I had to go down in my like hours, but real estate is what I do during the day, and graphics is what I'm up till 3 a.m. eating a Reese's doing, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully full-time.
Yeah.
Do you want to do full-time graphic design work?
Yes, I do. I'm giving myself a deadline. I'm not going to throw it out there, but I'm giving myself a deadline to kind of go.
Why not?
Full.
Make it real. Make it true.
I know,
Come on.
I'm saying
Manifest
my birthday
it.
this year. I'm going to say my birthday this year, but I don't want to rush myself. But I do want to just go full time and just pick up clients, and then the end goal is to have a branding agency. So I want to have people under me who design, and we're having collaborative meetings, and we're like, okay, we have this client. I'm gonna have you meet with them. You set up a photography shoot. You set up this press. You know what I mean?
Right, like branding.
Yeah, like a football circle. Okay, and break. Like everybody just goes and do their thing. Yeah. So. Yeah, I got big dreams. Just
that's awesome. I mean, you are really close to being there. If you're already working part-time at your marketing place, and then which is kind of cool though, because you're still doing everything that is what you want to do.
Exactly, and that's why I didn't want to leave there altogether, because it wasn't about the money. It really is because I love real estate, and I really do love what I do, and it works so well with my business is because I have close connections with these vacant spaces. So now if somebody has a bakery and I'm like, okay, so what's next? Do you want to open a store? And then I plug them in. You know what I mean? It's just just plug in. So it's benefits to being the client for sure. Okay. But definitely just want to help people. I feel like you can have the best business, the best podcast, the best hairstyle, it could be the best of anything, but if you're not marketed well, it almost doesn't matter, so I kind of want to,
especially in this day and age.
Yeah, especially in this day and age, people have an attention span of like 3 seconds before they leave. You know what I mean? What are you doing to catch their attention as soon as they see it? Everything's instantaneous now, so that's what I try to do with my people.
Right, and then social media, it's about formatting, about so many different little things that people don't think about. you know.
All the time. Literally all the time. So.
Well, it seems like things are going successful, but how did things start? Was this high school, college? Where did you start?
So, you know, me and Will have done, for people who don't know, we've done massive business together. Back to throwing events and parties for BG. I'm the UT representative. Will is the BG representative, along with Los.
Good times.
And good times. But that's how it started. We were broke college students. We were party promoters, and we're already spending $600 to get a venue. That's a lot now. So imagine in college.
Yeah.
And we had to cut the middleman, but we needed flyers. So I'm like, you know, like I could try to make some. You know, I don't know. And I made it, and it worked. It was for Anything's Possible. If you were there, if you know, you know. And then somebody was like, can you make me a logo? I'm like, I've never made a logo before, but I guess it can't be rocket science. So I just started putting stuff on top of each other and moving it and twisting it. And they're like, it's great, thanks. They posted the logo. Somebody else contacted me for a logo. I'm like, okay. Then somebody else contacted me. And then somebody else contacted me. I'm like, oh, wait, this is something. Like, I have something here. So I'm like, I need to brand myself. And then I just came up with Limit. And then it's really, I don't really market myself a lot, which I thank God for, you know, truly a gift. 90% of my business is word to mouth. Like, I don't really post. Like, I'll post here and there, like, hey, you know, this logo, but I've been booked every day since last January. You know what I mean? So
you say
everybody has businesses.
Yeah, I mean, you say you don't post a lot, but I mean, your page looks great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Because you can go through all your work and kind of see such a variety of stuff.
Yes.
And it's not you just posting. So I think that's the problem that people that make graphic design market do, is they just post like maybe a white background with a logo.
Yeah,
but you're posting like the products out.
Yes.
Because people want to see. People know that you can make a logo, right? Mm-hmm. But people want to see what it looks like on a physical thing.
Yes,
you know, here's these physical business cards. Here's these aprons. Here's these hats.
Right, and you can see it because when I design, Coca-Cola hasn't changed their logo drastically since 1930 something.
It's probably like 3 of them.
But they kept the same. You know what I mean? They're variations of it. But that's how people need to brand. It shouldn't be this thing where you have to switch it every 5 years or something. You know, it has to stick. You know what I mean? Because if you keep switching your mind, your customer is going to keep switching their mind. They're like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. Let me, you know.
If you don't trust your brand, who else will?
Exactly. Facts. So when I design, I like to keep in mind a store sign or 100 employees walking around with it on their left. You know what I mean? It has to look good and it has to look clean. I know my design style isn't for everybody, but one thing it's timeless, and I can definitely stand on that. So.
Yeah, because especially when people want a logo, but it might be something that, I mean, you just can't. You're not gonna be able to, embroider it in there. It's too much going on.
Yeah, it's just too much going on.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. And it's just the simpler it kind of touches for everybody. You know what I mean? You're reaching old, new, you know what I mean? Younger, older, people across all demographics when you just go with a simple, clean, across-the-border design. And I feel like I really bring that to life, from the real estate to the personal business branding.
Well, a huge part that plays into business, some people don't have to like supermarket and be constant in people's face, but it's more so the impression that they left.
Yes, exactly. And that's definitely big. And I feel like that's a reason why, people come back, because it's service. It's service. People have to trust you. You know what I mean? In all terms of business, trust what you're saying and everything. Yeah. And just, know that you believe it too. You know what I mean? Not just feeding them BS, basically. So you were in college, and you're kind of like, you're getting these, hey, do a logo here, do a logo here. But when did it really hit you that, like, this is more than a hustle? Like, this can be more than a hustle. I need to fully do this. When did I know that?
Yeah, when did you know that?
It was probably around this time last year.
Okay.
Like, every beginning of the year, I run a special, how are you starting your business? Like, brand your business, or whatever am I saying? It's messed up, I don't know, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I know that's the biggest time of the year because people have on their resolution list, you know what I mean? I want to be better with my business this year. I want to have these goals. So I just kind of knew when I just my turnover rate was crazy. Like, you know, people would book me for a logo, one draft, done. Book me for a logo, one draft, done. It was like I knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? And of course, every client isn't like that. Of course, you know, everybody has their ups and downs. But I think that's when I knew. And when it was so many in such a span of time and they were just all satisfied and were really satisfied, I think I knew. And I think it's my purpose because it's not even about the money for me. Like, I'm such a people pleaser that, like, people just being happy, I'm just like, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. I'm so glad you're happy. You know, like, that's enough for me. So, God definitely did his thing for sure.
I think it really is powerful when you see someone have your design on their building or on their whole brand. You know, like, if you really step back and look at it, it's
just like...
It's like you really just created their whole brand. You get to see that all the time.
It's just amazing. I never get sick of it. It's just crazy. Like I see it on, like, now I have clients that have buildings and stuff like that. Nuts. It's just crazy. Like still to this day. But like I said, I just thank God. You know what I mean? Just for giving me the vision, the wisdom, strength, all of that. You know, truly.
So a lot of people, you know, in business, they drowned last year. So did you have any, like, fear at any month specifically? I don't even know if I could keep doing this.
I would say the holidays. Because people really aren't focused on their business during the holiday months. They want to get the gifts for the people. They have 10 outfits to buy for these 10 events. You know what I mean? Okay. You're shipping stuff now. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, money, you know, the pandemic, everything. So during those final months, I was thinking, should I go back full-time real estate? But then real estate isn't doing that good right now because the pandemic, you know what I mean? Yeah, gotcha. Restaurants are vacating everywhere right now. So, you know, that era, probably I would say probably from like October to like the very beginning of January, it was kind of like,
and parties had went down.
Yeah, everything. It was crazy.
That was a crazy market.
So, yeah, definitely. So it was just an adjustment. And I think that's where just faith comes in, and just faith in yourself. Like, I am talented. I won't need for anything. And, you know, the universe just kind of works in your favor after that. So, yeah.
So, were you always, like, a creative person, like, going back to your childhood, or?
Yes, I was. Okay. My friend Chelsea, she actually just tweeted me, like, within the last few months, like, you always been that way. Remember you were creating our MySpace pages? And I was, like, I would get people stuff, and I would, like, they wouldn't even pay me. It's just, like, that's how I knew, like, that I just wanted to just create stuff, like, for other people. Like, they would give me their passwords, and then I would just be in their stuff, just coding, like, listening to Wayne. Like, it was just crazy. Like, I always liked that type of stuff. I always liked, you know, creating in different creations, like not just one genre.
Right, like, creating a bunch of different stuff. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. So, but did you, like, draw a lot too, or was that just...
I'm not. Crazy thing is, I am a terrible.
You don't have to. Like, you don't have to draw good.
Yeah,
to be
right.
A good
yeah, right.
Designer,
no, I haven't really. I really came up at a great time because as soon as I started getting into that creative mindset, that's when MySpace and all that stuff dropped. You know what I mean? We talk like 13, 14, when you're really starting to get into what you like, and I just liked creative stuff. I always liked, like, graphic tees and stuff. Like, I always liked stuff that, like, popped out graphic-wise. I always thought that was great. And I watched America's Next Top Model a lot. So they would do the final shot of the CoverGirl ad. And I would just be like, that's so amazing. So just looking back, it was always there. It was just a matter of me.
Yeah, and then you went to school for marketing, I guess?
Yes. Okay. I mean, I don't know how I forgot that part. So I went to the University of Toledo. Go Rockets. Go Rockets. I know we have some Falcons right here, but Falcons. It's really UT. Okay. But went there, got my bachelor's in marketing with a focus on electronic commerce. That's a new minor. That was my first year doing that. I wanted to be an accountant, a minor in accounting. But accounting is really hard when you get up there. Like, you know, I passed the first three, but then after the fourth one,
what the hell does this word even mean?
I thought we was doing that back then. That's not the same thing. So my counselor was like, look, if you want to graduate on time, you got to pick something else up. You know what I mean? Accounting's not working. And I've already been there for 5 years, so I'm like, shit. So, they're like, we got this new one. It's electronic commerce. It's all online, and it's about the way money works online. like buying and selling. So this is 2016, 2017. So it really wasn't, people knew what Amazon was, but it wasn't popping like that. It wasn't popping how it was before. So she kind of broke it down for me. And I did a minor in electronic commerce. And now I kind of seen how everything works. It helps me tell my clients what makes people buy online. It's the science of it, like why people want. It's a keeping up with the Joneses mentality. If you have an iPhone and you have an iPhone and 50 million people have an iPhone, I'm not going to go get an Android. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But if only 2 people had an iPhone, who would be getting it? It's just keeping up with the Joneses.
Could be better, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? No one has it. So
I love all that stuff. Like, I want to go back and get my master's. I want to be a professor. Like, it's just crazy, like, the list. But it's going to get checked off. Everything's going to get checked off, I swear.
Little by little.
Little by little, I swear. So.
That's dope.
So I got a question. So you do the graphics for the website, but you actually make the websites, like, for people?
Well, right now, I don't do coding and all of that stuff.
Gotcha.
I make people's websites through, like, a Shopify or something, because realistically, what I've learned about the coding websites is what happens when that client wants to change something and you're slammed for the week. You know what I mean? So do you make that client wait, or do you give them a more user-friendly site where they can just go in and plug it in? So
right, then you gotta deal with all these hosting problems.
I didn't know what you meant. Was that the question? I'm sorry.
Well, no, so that's still a form of making a website.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. But to a graphic design, because people like code a website.
I feel like doing that. What she's doing is like designing.
Yeah, designing a website. I don't know how to code. That box with all them words. I go to line 256 and type it. I'm like, I'm not doing all of that.
Right, when they can just do all the work.
Right, and they just do all of that back end stuff. Now I do know some coding things, so if they want a slideshow on a page that doesn't have a slide, I know how to do little stuff, but I'm no coder by any means, so I ain't gonna throw that out.
Is that something that you might want to learn eventually? No? I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I have the branding agency, I'll hire somebody that does that, and then they can do that. You know what I mean? But everywhere I'm lacking at, I want like clones and people lacking. It makes sense not to get
to that point yet, because it's like, that would take up so much of your time.
Oh my God. Thinking about it right now and having anxiety.
I still don't even get the concept of like typing these random letters.
Yes.
Well,
oh my gosh. And don't let you miss a dash.
Yeah. You're like, why isn't it working?
And
it's one little mistake.
Oh my gosh. That type of stuff that took me like an hour. I would have been like, I'm going to bed. That's when you just got to close the laptop. I'm resuming tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, no.
It's crazy.
No,
all day.
No interest in that. Yeah.
And then it ends up, what if it's like not in the exact same space?
Right, then you got to go back.
Yeah.
Find the exact, I'd be too tired for that.
Crazy.
Too tired.
So, what's kind of your process for designing a logo? So, like, I come up to you, I want this logo for my veterinarian company. What's kind of the process? So, of course, I would ask you, what's the brand name? And you would say, Pets for All, whatever. Yeah. And I'd be like, okay, did you have any colors in mind? Some people just like hate green or hate purple. So before I freestyle, I always ask, are there any colors that you do not like? People like, my boyfriend's room was purple. I don't need all that. Just do you like this or not? Yeah. So just stay with a step. So, and then, were you leaning more towards a text or graphic logo? So I offer 2 types of logos. A text logo is more of a Louis Vuitton, very clean, things like that. But then a graphic logo would be like a Build-A-Bear. It has a bear, it has, stuff like that. Gotcha. So people's tastes are different. Of course, for a pet veterinarian, I would, say that. And then, I always do half up, half, once you like it. So we have security on both of our ends. So it's not like you paid full price for this logo and now you don't like it and now you don't have it. So, you know what I mean? So half up, half once you like it. And then, I just send drafts. I'm like, you get a confirmation text as soon as you drop a deposit. Hi, you have received your blah, 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 just like UPS, everybody else. You know exactly when you're getting it. You get it that day. You like it. You pay for it, or if you want to make some revisions. So you do these same day turnarounds? No. Oh, I was like, oh my God. My turnaround for logo is about a week and a half. It's still not terrible, but a week and a half. And flyers are usually like 2 or 3 days, just because flyers are easy. You're just giving me information, and now I'm just designing around that information. But logos, you have to sit, I sketch, like I'm a bad sketcher. I can only understand the sketches, but I sketch, and then I just kind of get to it,
And depending on the design, that's the music I listen to. So if I'm listening to a super girly logo, I'm going to throw on City Girls.
Oh, okay.
And then if I am, you know, for a real estate company, I might throw on like some Nipsey or something like that, you know.
Okay, helps you get in the mindset, get ready.
If I'm doing a club flyer, I'm gonna throw on some Gucci. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that's how it helps me design, because it gets me in the mode of what I would be listening to or what mindset I'll be in while I'm looking at this design, you know, if I was the consumer.
Do you look at anything for inspiration?
Yeah. If I can't get that first sketch and if something's really not clicking like that, this is missing something, or I need some inspo, I'll just like Google, like, you know, real estate logos, you know what I mean, or something like that, and just scroll, and they'll be like, got it, and then, you know, and then it kind of go from there. But that's really rare. I've done so many now that I kind of got it down pat. Yeah, that I can do it.
Especially if someone, you know, a lot of times they'll probably come to you with some like, oh, I like this, you know, or something like this.
Yeah, they will and send me inspo, but I do like to tell people, like, look, I know you just sent me this from a different graphic designer. I don't like mimicking work. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't like mimicking work. I've ran into that problem a few times, but and I understand where people are coming from, because it's like, this person did this for me. Can you clean it up a little bit? You know what I mean? I don't do that. You know what I mean? You're either about to pay for the whole thing, you know, because then I don't want to get into discrepancies with that graphic designer. Right. You know what I mean? I don't want to touch anybody's work. So that's that.
Yeah, that's smart, because, and plus, it's really not worth their time to go in there and clean it up. You know, when you're here for a graphic design, you know, you're supposed to do it all. Like, that's the whole thing.
Facts.
So I understand that.
Definitely.
So do some places ask you if, like, you can do multiple designs, mock-ups?
Like,
have you run into that?
Like logos? Like, if they were to book me for a logo, I want to see a few. Yeah. Yeah, it would just be a price difference in it. Bigger price. Just a little bit, just a tad. Because it's like three different concepts now, you know what I mean? And I can't show you 3 logos that look the same. Like, you know what I mean? So it's going to take me, you know, more time, so...
Yeah, I agree, because I feel like when you get to these bigger, you know, kind of corporation type things, that's when, but obviously they have more money, right? Yeah. To put up for it, and then you can design like multiple things, but that's kind of interesting too, because I feel like whenever you're designing a logo, you have one idea in mind, and like everything else you make is kind of like
it's like I love this so much. I don't know why you don't love it.
And then they pick the one that you don't like the most.
Like, oh my god, that is fire! I'm like, it is fire. No, but I appreciate my client's opinion for sure, because I can't think of myself as the designer. I have to think of myself as, you know, I'm helping them just bring their vision to life. Like, I'm just the middleman at the end of the day. You know, so what they have, what they have planned for their brand, you know, I could just put my touch on it, but I can't really put my hand on it. But I'm glad I have my touch on a few things.
How do you handle revisions?
Revisions, I do unlimited revisions. We get it right.
Okay.
I think that's why people come back to me. I do unlimited revisions just because I feel like my price is worth it. I'm a little on the pricier side, you know, from what I've heard. But you get good service with me. You know your turnover date. You know exactly. You get receipts. You get your email the same day after you pay. Like, I do not play when it comes to business. So you get what you pay for.
Yeah, other than some sketch you do that's, you know, you don't know when they're going to give you the
right, yeah, exactly. I've heard so many graphic design scam stories. Like, I could write a book. Like, I paid this person $300 and I never heard anything back. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah, you just,
you know
sending
what I mean?
money to some random
person, you know, because people just, I noticed when they want, and there's nothing wrong with it. When people start a business, they get really excited. But they don't understand. Sometimes people don't understand is that you have to take your time and plan. Who am I going to use? What am I going to do? How am I going to execute this?
And you can't take all these orders, right?
No,
like, I cannot like, you are one person, you have a limited amount of time. Whether you think you can make 4 logos in the span of a few days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when people find out I can't turn over the next day, they're like, what? You can't? Even if I pay more? No, I go to sleep at this time. You know what I mean? I have to, you know, especially with the real estate job. If I was a full-time entrepreneur, I would work third shift and sleep all day if I could. You know what I mean? But I have other obligations. And one thing about me is I'll run myself into the ground. Like, I will just keep going. But I learned some self-care. So I no longer design on the weekends, having some boundaries.
There we go.
But, yeah, if I can't do it, I can't do it. Basically. Yeah. Like, this is my next available date, and this is what it is. So.
And that's another thing when, you know, people starting out or people in the kind of the business, because I do like filmmaking stuff, so I'm kind of like a freelancing too.
Oh,
like,
nice.
like
that's great. That's what's up.
So I feel like the problem we come into is like, okay, how do we balance it? Because people want things and you know, we want to please everyone. We and we want to have customers. You know, some customers would maybe have better relationships in the future, you know, but like we can't take it all. We have to kind of step back and be like, as much as I want to text you and say yes, I can do it.
Can't.
I just know that that day is gonna come, and I'm gonna be have
like,
50 million things.
Did I agree? And you know, after you agree to something, I'm a woman of my word. My mom always told me to have integrity. Yeah. It's rare that I'm like, I tell somebody I'll have a design over. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't have that over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's people, and it goes back to trust. That's when people trust you. And that's when you start turning over multiple clients and things like that. You know, people do a service one time and then they just start slacking on their client. Like, there's not other options out here. I know there's other options out here, but that's what keeps me going on the service side.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And but you've realized that, okay, you know, maybe I'm going to take the clients that I've had and I'm going to keep working with them before maybe like I even add more.
Oh, yeah, add newer clients. Heck yeah. Because I just want them to be satisfied, and I do want them to come back to me, because it's easier when you're working with the same graphic designer, because I know your color palette, I already have your logo, you know what I mean? It just saves you a lot of steps, and I love working with return clients, but I do like newer clients too.
Always is a challenge, you know?
Yeah, it's just a challenge, because you have to know somebody. It's just like building a relationship with anybody, anything.
Yeah,
you know, you're starting to go out, as opposed to me. I've done 7 services for this person. I know exactly their style. I know when they're up. You know what I mean? You start getting on that type of level with your clients. Okay, I could text this client late. I could text this client early in the morning, etc.
Yeah, it's a balancing.
Yeah, it's a balance. It's a balance. But I would say I'm about I would say I'm about 60-40. 60% return clients, 40% new clients. If I had to do a ratio.
Great. I feel like that's a good ratio. I feel like it's usually should be around that. You know?
like almost 50-50. My return clients definitely keep me busy. Yeah. You know who you are. Love you guys.
So how do you get return client? Like, you design someone's logo? Are you designing multiple things within their business, or are they designing new logos? What's
I offer packages. So I have a silver package, I have a diamond package, a gold, and then a platinum. And, you know, it's just, it ranks up. So, the silver package is like a logo, business cards, and a t-shirt. You know what I mean? You can pick your package. But if somebody only comes to me for a logo, just singular one, and then they start seeing everything else I do, then they're like, you know, can I get business cards? Can I get, you know, I didn't know you did all of this. Can you know what I mean? So it just kind of goes like that. So it definitely depends on the client.
Okay, so you offer these packages, and that makes more sense.
Yeah, it makes it super easy on people, because it's like, I could just get all this done in one swipe. Like, you don't have to worry about flyers, business cards, a website.
Going to this website.
You pay your deposit, and then I kind of just take care of the rest.
That's smart. Relax. Because you take it one step further than a normal graphic designer. A graphic designer will be like, all right, I'm just doing logos.
Just logos and flyers.
But if you're already making the logos, you might as well handle
everything.
Other stuff is just kind of a result of the logo.
I have like pages of services that I want to offer. I'm like embroidery, like
you're like,
everything.
Right, maybe I should take
car wraps. I'm like literally like.
What do you need?
So what do you need? I just really want to get on a basis where I'm just giving somebody a contract of like 30 services and just sign off and we're good. You'll have everything in like
but then
6 weeks.
Hopefully when you get to that point, you know, then you'll have a bunch of customers doing that, and then you'll have multiple people.
Yes, exactly. My dad is a big chef in the city.
I saw that. I was like,
yes.
So it's called Skye Larae.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But Skye Larae rolls off the tongue because I've heard it my whole life. You know what I mean? So it always rolls off the tongue. So I'm like, you can refer to me as Skye Larae. But so my dad is Chef Wells. Okay. You know, he's been on Fox 8 and does all of that. And he
Channel 3.
And Channel 3, he's everywhere. Like
that's where I work. It's
he's literally everywhere. So that's who I get my business drive from. If anybody ever met my dad, they're like, you're like the girl version of him. It's just, he always, when he would take a call and we all be in the living room chilling, it's like 12-year-old me, my little sister, he'd be like, everybody be quiet, turn the TV off. You have reached Eric Wells. How can I help you? You know, and then I just saw him do that my whole life. I'm like, Mom, why is he telling them to turn the TV down? We're watching TV. It's service. You know what I mean? So seeing that growing up, he just always molded me. You know, he was listening to like, if anybody follows me on Twitter, I listen to a Tribe Called Quest all the time.
Okay.
That's what my dad listened. He listened to The Roots, Talib Kweli, Eric B, Rakim. I know all of that stuff, you know, because that's when my dad would be in the kitchen. You know, so when I really need to get in the mood, that's really what I'm turning on. And yeah, so shout out to Pops. Shout out to Pops.
What a great inspiration, though, to see somebody that just have that drive, you know, that...
Yeah, he came from literally nothing. And just to see that as a child, to see your parent, you know, make it big, it's like, wow, I could do that too. You know, so I never doubted myself. You know what I mean?
And, well, that's what's crazy is that you are already farther ahead than a lot of people. You literally you went from a full-time to a part-time. Most people would be... Even just taking it part-time would be fearful.
Yes, oh my God, I was so scared.
I mean, it is a big risk. Like, because at any point in time, you know, doing stuff like, kind of like a free, it's kind of like a freelance business.
Yeah, definitely freelance, for sure.
So it's like, okay, what if no clients come next month?
Yeah.
What if this, am I going to be able to make it about but it's a risk you have to take.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you've kind of seen your dad, I feel like, probably take that risk, so you know it's possible.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Like, you know, he worked at Progressive. You know, he'll tell the story himself, so I'll keep it super vague. But he worked at Progressive and full-time, you know, but he really just loved to cook. He loved to cook, you know what I mean? And he just said, you know, I'm going to go to culinary school. And he was like, I think I can do this. And then quit. And my mom is a very supportive woman, everything. Never heard an argument about it, nothing. You know what I mean? And now look at him. You know what I mean? So trust the people around you that support you no matter what you do. Because it's important. You know, people who talk down and make it seem like, do you think you should do that? You know what I mean? Don't second guess your first mind and cut them people off if they ain't. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. So.
And then he named his business after you.
Yeah, he named his business after me. I'm his first daughter. So,
how many siblings you have?
So, I have a younger sister. Her name is Nina. And then my mom had 2 kids from a previous marriage.
Everyone's probably jealous. They're like,
I try not to. I didn't ask, you know what I mean? He did that. You know what I mean? But
it's a good brand name. Anyway,
yeah, it's a good brand name. Like, it sounds good. It rolls off the tongue. So
and it just helps you out.
Yeah, right. They're like, Skye Larae. I'm like, yes. I do graphics though. I don't cook. So
this is where you got.
Yeah, this is where I go.
At first, I thought you owned. But when I just clicked on the page,
I'm like, wait a minute.
I clicked on the apron, and I was like, wait a second, you cook too? You run a whole restaurant too? What are you doing? How much time do you have?
Running off.
Yeah, I need some of that.
I'm weak. I'm so weak.
It's a different type of hustle.
Yeah, it's a different. You got something in you.
Yeah.
No.
That's crazy,
I get that so often. It's crazy. They're like, you cook you do the intimate dinners for 2 every night too? I'm like, no, you're thinking of my father. That's not me.
Yeah, that's cool though.
The funny thing about that is my dad was always cooking so much that I just learned how to cook. Isn't that crazy? Like, yes.
You've been eating mac and cheese in college?
I mean,
what are you doing?
Yeah, it was crazy. But I'm a great cook now. Like, I made macaroni and cheese for the Super Bowl party. Like, you know, like you there. Like, I'm there
with
now.
The breading on top,
yeah, we good now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have spoke on it if I still wasn't. But my dad was just always that was his zone. That was like his office. So he'll be like, what do you need out the fridge? I'll pass you a juice. I'm like, I just want some juice. You know, he'll pass me the juice. You know what I mean? Like, nobody comes in his domain. You know what I mean? So he wasn't really doing culinary classes in his kitchen. You know what I mean? So he was just cooking for us, and we'd just be in the living room chilling. Dinner's ready. And then we just come in. You know what I mean? So,
that's sweet.
I
think it makes it even better to see kind of him evolve into that, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It is. He's he deserves 100% with my deepest heart. He deserves every single blessing that man gets, from the Rudy to the Tootie. I can't say enough about him.
I'm sure he's proud of you.
Oh yeah, for sure. He always, He's my worst critic. He was like, you're doing good, but you're going to need to get some employees soon. You can't run yourself into the ground. And then he starts making, did you file your taxes? I'm like, oh my God. You know what I mean? But he's trying to make sure, he's always trying to make sure I was a good businesswoman. Yeah.
Because what happens is even these graphic designers out here, they might even have like a LLC, first of all. Right. They might not have like any type of business account, invoice system.
Nothing.
And then what happens is you can only reach a certain peak.
Yeah, until you start, you got to tap into those different type of things, right? Because you're gonna reach a client. That's like, can you send me an invoice? And you're looking what the heck is that? Yeah, give me a few days. You should be ready to send an invoice. You know what I mean? So,
that's funny. That happened to me.
Yeah. So that's why I started doing invoices, because I'm like, yes.
Yeah, because I got this one big like client in BG at Falcons Point.
Nice. Yeah.
But I was just a college student, right? And I was doing my video stuff for a little bit, and I was like, oh shit. And then what I did was I stalled a little bit on sending the invoice.
I started Googling.
Yeah, then I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get everything. I got the LLC, I got a business account.
Nice. Just covered everything.
And then as soon as it was up and everything was good to go, I hit the send the invoice. I was like, first of all, I was like, yes.
Yes. That's great.
But without them, I probably would have waited a while.
Yeah, it's crazy because certain clients make you change things, and that's what I do appreciate. Good, you teach me to learn things, because some clients come to me with new designs. They're like, hey Skye, can you do this? Like, I just did a die cut hang tag. Like, their logo is a P, and so their hang tag is a P and then a circle.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. They're like, can you do this? I'm like, but that's how it started. I'm like, so that's why when anybody presents anything to me, I'm like, I'm about to try. Yeah. So that's how it is.
That's great. What's your favorite logo that you've done so far?
Oh my God. Favorite?
I feel like everyone's got the ones like, oh yeah.
It's your favorite.
Yeah. I've done so many, not even trying to brag or anything. Oh God.
But was it one that made you crack a bigger smile when it was done?
But you're proud of yourself, like, yes.
Yes. I'm going to say Autumn, the Bougie Bakery in Cleveland Heights. She was my first big client. And when I found out she was opening up her store, she wanted me to do everything. Yeah, she wanted me to do it. She was like, that's my favorite logo. I'm going to say that. She wanted a woman holding a cake, a 3-tier cake with an apron, and it was a silhouette. And it was just, the details that she had made it so easy for me, because I literally brought it to life for her. And then she just trusts me with everything. We're literally texting right now. So, that probably was my favorite. And, for her to be 24 years old, open a bakery and, choose me, you know what I mean? To just do everything.
Yeah, I've heard great things.
Yes, please go to the Bougie Bakery if you guys haven't.
Too, yeah. I gotta try that out.
That is fire.
I gotta say, my favorite, I think, I really like the 4.
The 4? Oh, yeah. The 4 is nice. I actually didn't make the 4's logo. But,
you didn't? I thought you did the whole time.
No, I didn't. I didn't do the whole thing. But I did their all of their apparel and their menus and things like that. But shout out to the 4, though. They're in my hometown, South Euclid, so I got mad love for them. Okay. But no, I didn't. But I love theirs, too. Like, as I was making the apron, I'm like, this is such a fire logo. Just on the humble, though.
Right.
Just how,
but you made designed their menus?
Yeah, my dad designed their menus, their drink menus, social media.
Yeah, I like that. Everything was super clean.
Yes, thank you so much. So I'm trying to tap in more to that, like menus and getting more like store clients. I mean,
that's
things like that.
Because that's something that's something people don't offer. Like, people just focus on logos. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm really trying to branch out. Like, I just did the menu for California Nails at Beechwood Mall.
Okay.
So I designed it and I installed it into their flat screen, like with a USB, of course, and then I was there. Wow. That's somebody who's getting traction all day, every day. It's a nail shop in the mall, so. And these things are kind of just falling in my lap. And like I said, I always thank God. Like, anybody who knows me knows I'm super humble. I'm going to talk my stuff because I know I'm bad. I'm bad on the graphics. But I always thank God first. It's literally like in my bio, it's my pin tweet. Like, I know I would be nowhere without that. So, but yeah, stuff is kind of been falling in my lap. And, I can feel myself on the up and up, but just definitely gotta just stay humble and, just keep working, basically.
Yeah, because I think your clients clearly see that, because or else you wouldn't be having these people that are wanting all this whole packages, you know,
right? Exactly. Like, you
things.
must really trust me. That's what I think. I'm like, you must really trust me. But yeah.
But and plus, people would rather put their money into someone they know is growing, and you know, because I think it's kind of intimidating being a you know, maybe an entrepreneur and going to these big places, right, where you don't have the customer service. Like, they can go to you and talk to you and kind of work through ideas. Whereas, like, it's very intimidating to go to these big, I'm sure downtown Cleveland has these big, like, corporate, where they do, this market research, you know, but sometimes you need just that, like, good customer service.
And it's just a good exchange. And I don't like to be too robot-y either. You know, it's such a middle. Like, you still want to be cool, but you still want to have that customer service. I feel like sometimes when you're dealing with people in business and y'all being cool and then you start conducting business and it's like, we're not friends right now. Like, you know what I mean? And it's good. Like, I appreciate my friends coming to me for business and people who know me. But with your business owners, people, just remember that line, you know, when you're conducting business.
Well, you also have, I mean, I think the customers that are your friends also need to know, like, you gotta support.
Yeah, you know, exactly. Like, they're like, what you gonna charge me for this logo?
But it's like,
I'm gonna charge you. I just be confused. I'll be like, are you for real?
Or like, hey, can you make me this quick thing?
It's like just quick. I'm like, yeah, it's really not next week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Quick literally
thing.
go through
the
it
quick
so
thing
much.
Is the worst.
That's the worst phrase. The
like,
worst
real
phrase
quick.
ever.
Can you just throw this flyer together for me real quick, man? It is 9:00 at night.
Yeah.
You just thought I just...
Do you get the people that I've started? Like those people like, so I've started the flyer, can you finish it?
Can you, like, hey, I made this flyer, can you just add a few graphics and whoa, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
So,
maybe early on, Skye.
Yeah,
but now you're a business.
Early on, Skye. If you wanted deals and all of that, you should have called me in 2017 and all of that. Everybody gets the cut price. My dad pays full price. He's like, what are the price of your hoodies and don't give me a discount? Like, he lives
but that's how, I mean, isn't that how you think your friends would want to pay that because they're supporting you?
And that really separates. It separates for sure.
And you really do see true, like, friends like, okay...
You're trying to use me.
Right.
You ain't gonna get me. No, forget that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I totally get it. It's just like once you reach a point, you know, in the beginning, it's fun.
It's
cool,
you know,
you're trying to do different things.
You want to get your clientele up. You know what I mean? But
you want to do different things. But once you're established, it's like, okay, you guys gotta respect me as a business owner.
Facts.
And time is money. You know what I mean? Time is money.
Yeah. Like, I might help you out in a few things here and there, but, like, it's, you know, I could be doing another logo for twice as much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you get it.
Yeah.
You get it.
Absolutely.
Both of y'all get it. Do y'all get it?
Oh, yeah. He's basically a freelancer, too.
Right. I mean, I do all types of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Writing. And
multi-talented, man.
Music and writing. Hey, I want to say something to the audience, though. Listen, y'all don't want rushed work. So you don't, you don't offer rushed work. Right?
Oh no.
So you're not getting rushed work from Skye. No. You're not getting rushed work from Chef T.
No.
You're not getting rushed work from me.
No.
Because it's like, even the people that offer it, I don't know, you gotta pay more. Yeah. And then I just feel like they not gonna give you that full quality. It's not possible.
I don't like rushing.
You can't be like, I need my logo in 10 hours just because you're gonna pay more and then expect it to be top of the line. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
And then you're rushing me for the revisions. Well, I really don't like that. So when do you think you could give me back that?
Then it's like,
we're not doing that.
How did you end up in the predicament to need rush work? I just don't recommend it. I don't recommend it and always avoid it.
They go to somebody that specializes in rush work, you know, like one day turnarounds, like that they're advertising, go to them. Cause
like Google it. Maybe they can kind of help you out. That's
well, I think that it's also solid communication, you know, it's like, hey, I'm not going to be able to do that. This is what I usually, you know, this is my turnaround time, a week and a half, make it clear from the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. And then you could choose from there. Do you want to go this far out or don't you? But I wouldn't trust anybody rushing my work anyway. Like, I wouldn't, like, can you have this over tomorrow? I'm just going to think you're just tossing it together and I'm paying more.
Oh, that's actually a good point. Trust works both ways, you know. It's kind of like you want to trust the person you're working for, you know. You want to still have that trust.
Yeah, definitely. And maintain it. It's like, and then if you let somebody, one thing I learned about business, if you let somebody slide, they'll start skating. So nip it in the bud. If it's something you do not like, that are kind of like, hey, you know, I'm going to do this time, you know, but, you know, going forward, you know, this is how it's going to be. You know, just nip that in the bud because people will take an arm. That is a true statement.
That's a fact.
Literally.
All right, something kind of, to wrap this podcast up, we usually do this thing. What advice would you give younger Skye?
Oh, that's my girl. Don't be scared to be different. I've never been the typical female in my eyes. I was running a party promotion group. I'm a graphic designer, yada, yada. You know what I mean? I could talk music. I could talk and go deep into it, But I was always scared as a younger person to be myself and really roll with what made me feel good on the inside as opposed to what made other people feel good. So I would just tell her to just be true to yourself and the fakes will fall off by themselves. Yeah. So that's it.
Great, yeah, that's great. I feel like you have found yourself.
Yeah,
clearly.
It's great. It's great. It's super. It's a good feeling. So, check me out.
Yeah, where can the audience find you at?
You can find me. Well, my website is www.limitmktg. So it should look like Limit Marketing Abbreviated.com. I am on Instagram at _Skye the Limit. And you can find me there. Check out my stories. I post cool real estate stuff. I started doing virtual tours. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm really tapping into some new stuff, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool. Yeah, well thank you guys. Thanks, Chef T. Thank you, Will. You guys are great. Thank you. Dope guys here.
I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like we had...
Yeah, this is some good dialogue.
Audience always got to learn a lot. They got to learn a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think everyone listening will learn a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening and watching. It's your boy, Chef T.
I'm Will the Spacekid.
And I'm Skye.
Yes, sir. So, keep it real. See you next week. Thank you all for listening and joining us on another episode of the Stirfry. All the music was created by Steve Ozell. Check him out on all streaming services at Stevo Music, spelled ST3V30 Music. Also, if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. We'd greatly appreciate it. And see you next week when we talk with Nick Lotz. It was great having him back on the show. He explains his newest music and why staying consistent helps you shine. It was great, so you won't want to miss it. See you next week, y'all.